Shalom Am Yisrael. We are in the month of Kislev, and the light of the Maccabees is already upon us. The few versus the many. And this is where we are in our battle today. Am Yisrael is the few, not in the military aspect. We have more soldiers than Hamas, but we're the few in the world political view. This is what happened in the Greek time. The Greeks were coming through the world with their Hellenization and wiping out every ideology that wasn't theirs. It was their way, and no one could think differently. Am Yisrael didn't have beef with the Greeks. We didn't bother them. They came and said, you have to think like us because we are right and you are wrong. And this is how we feel today, us Jews in social media. There's only one way, and that is the Muslim narrative of, this isn't fair, not proportionate response, okay, you got hit, but come on, you can't do X, Y, Z. This is the same problem the Jews had. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying, we thank God, Me'atim beyad rabim. You allowed few to beat the many. Not just the few in a military campaign, but the few that are still sane in a world that's gone haywire, in a world that says that ISIS is okay, that Nazis are fine, that at the end of the day, the ends justify the means, and you know what? They were just fighting back because they were oppressed. No! Evil doesn't have a room in this world. If we want a world of civilization after World War II, this should be a no-brainer. And yet the whole world is confused. This is deep rooted in what is called in Muslim philosophy a dawah, a brainwashing of Muslim philosophy. And therefore, there are 1.9 billion Muslims in the world. And therefore, they're going to side with Hamas, even though they raped and killed and murdered and burnt. They're going to say, it's not true. It's not true. Because it's such a great brainwash. And everybody on the media is going to be siding with them. Because, why side with the few Jews when there's so many Muslims who are saying X? How do we know? What are the true facts? Blah, blah, blah. This is where we are at. Am Yisrael. The same battle that happened in Hanukkah over 2,000 years ago. The few had to combat the many. Not only in a military campaign, in a philosophical ideology. Am Yisrael were outnumbered. The whole world around them was becoming Hellenized. The Jews needed to pick a side. And it was hard. Many Jews picked the wrong side. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us this might, this strength, a reminder that we were never about numbers. Hame'at mikem. God chose us because we're few. Because it's not a popularity contest. When you're right, it doesn't have to be democratic. In a democratic represents the people. But when it comes to truth, there is one derech. That's the derech of Hashem. And when we follow that route, then we will be successful. Am Yisrael forever, when they sided with God, they prevailed. All those who zigzagged, sadly, they're not with us anymore. The same way, on Hanukkah, the battle was not just a military campaign, but an ideological campaign. That the majority of the world were Hellenized. And the few Jews, few stubborn, annoying Jews, kept to their Jewish religion. And thanks to them, we're still here. The same crossroad again. The majority of the world is siding with the atrocities of Hamas, with Nazi-like ISIS people. And we Jews remember, this is not about popularity. It's about good versus evil, light versus darkness, and light will prevail.